Good morning and happy Thanksgiving. We've been talking in these morning thought for the days on the Reformation doctrine of sola gratia. This morning, I just want to give you a meditation, something to think about as it relates to Thanksgiving, since that's what today is about in our culture. So the idea of giving thanks, and I want to give you probably the simplest verse on the idea of Thanksgiving, and yet what an incredibly profound verse and thought in a series of instructions that are about the Christian life, particularly about how even to respond to life and respond to God and His revelation. In 1 Thessalonians 5:18, in the midst of these repeated instructions and exhortations, here's what we get. 1 Thessalonians 5:18, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you. So let's think theologically about this for a moment. To give thanks in all circumstances means that, of course, immediately our mind goes to those things where it doesn't feel natural to give thanks. So the health challenges that we face, the relational strains that we have, the personal disappointments we have, the things that are wearing us out, to give thanks for those things. Famously, Alexander Solzhenitsyn, the Russian reformer, was imprisoned, and in his Gulag archipelago, he wrote famously, "Thank you, Gulag," or "Thank you, prison, for being in my life." And he talked about how it caused him to look inside his own heart and his own life and the kind of assessment and experience that experience gave him. And he could look back years later and say, thank you for that experience being in my life. The difficulty you're facing this Thanksgiving, you might be tempted to do this at Thanksgiving. You might be tempted to see your situation and to say, you know what, I've got to get my eyes off of that situation, and I've got to count my blessings and be thankful for all the blessings that I have. I want to encourage you to do something deeper, richer, and more full. And that is to stare in the face of that challenge, to stare in the face of that disappointment, to stare in the face of that strain, and to say, God, thank you, because you're working things in me through this that you wouldn't be able to work in me a different way. And you've chosen sovereignly to work in me through this. Give thanks in all circumstances. Because, not everything that you're facing is the result of the moral will of God. That is, it doesn't always match and map on to God's moral character and His will. But God can take it and can use it in a way that makes it map on. And that is why it says, give thanks, right, for in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you. That is, it's God's will that you would give thanks, even when things are hard, even when things that might even be evil in and of themselves are bumping into your life. You're not thankful for the evil, but you see that God is at work, doing something, creating a kind of development, sometimes beauty, sometimes strength, sometimes capacities you wouldn't have had otherwise through the ashes. Be thankful today, and may the Lord bless you this Thanksgiving.